Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I wanted to talk about my best free agents still available, and I have them breaking down and guys who will actually get contracts and guys who are veteran minimums. So before we start today's video, I want to hear about who do you believe are the best free agents still available? Where do you think they'll go? And who do you think is somebody that I did not mention? So hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel and hit that comment section. So this is the list, and let's get right into it. Kawhi Leonard. I expect him to go back to the Clippers. At this point, every team spent money. And the only teams that could really go for him, is it the Grizzlies or the I don't even know if the Spurs have. I have no idea who could get Kawhi Leonard besides the Clippers. Some team it would have to be a sign and trade, I'd imagine. So, with that being said, I'm just saying that's not happening. He's going back to LA. Now, Dennis Schroeder. I just made a video talking about this massive Dennis Schroeder news that a 6 to 8 team trade involving Spencer Dinwiddie, Kyle Kuzma, probably Chandler Hutchins, Kevin Knox. So it's basically the Knicks, Lakers, Bulls, Thunder, Nets, Wizards all coming together. We'll probably see like DeAndre Jordan moved, Schroeder moved, Kuzma moved. I don't think Denny Abdia is going to get moved, but I think Kevin Knox and Chandler Hutchinson will be moved in there. So I see Schroeder going to the Knicks or maybe the Nets or somewhere to a team making a move. This is why the Spencer Dinwiddie trade hasn't happened. Kelly Oubre, some might argue he's the 5th or the 4th best. Kelly Oubre, I put it because of his age. He's the 3rd best. He's still very young. And yeah, he shot 43% from, not 43%, 32% from 3 this past year. And he's had better years shooting 3. He's a guy who could be a 3-and-D guy. I think you just have to tell him, look, you're not a number 1 or a 2nd option. You might not even be a 3rd option. You should really be, at your peak, you're a 3rd option. But you're more of a 3rd or 4th option. Someone's got to tell him, just focus on defense. And the Warriors tried doing that, and he still had some inefficient play. Reggie Jackson, he deserves a pay upgrade. He averaged like 18 points. Shot like 45% from the field and 41% from 3, 42% from 3 during the playoffs. He was insane. Lauri Markkanen, he's a guy who doesn't like rebounding or defending, and he's a really good shooter, 40% from 3. Again, he's the 3rd option at most, 4th option. He's a guy who's just going to stand there in the corner, look pretty, and hit 3s, get the occasional rebound if it comes near him, and might get the occasional block if he's just going up against a small, like a point guard or a guard. Danny Green, he'll continue to make big bucks because I'd be surprised if he takes a minimum. Like, yeah, he couldn't get off the floor for the Sixers this past season, but he can play the shooting guard and small forward position, and he shot 41% from 3 during the regular season. He's still a guy who will do really well for you and can get you steals and the blocks. He's just a really good 3-and-D guy still at 30 in his mid-30s. Josh Hart is I believe there was a sign and trade to, I can't remember the team. It might have been the Kings, but Josh Hart, he's a good player. He does not want to go back to the Pelicans. He is a guy similar to Danny Green. He's a really good 3-and-D guy, but he's also a good rebounder. He averaged 8 rebounds a game, but he's not as good as a 3-point shooter as Danny Green. He's still always hovered around 33, 35, 36%. So he still needs to improve there. And I like him. I would like a contending team to get him, but we'll probably see a team, hopefully the Spurs pick him up. I would love the Spurs to pick up Josh Hart. Hamou Diallo is one of the most athletic guys in the league. He's basically what Keon Johnson could develop into. Keon Johnson just drafted this past year by, I can't even remember who drafted Keon Johnson. We're going to Google this real quick because I'm like, Keon Johnson, because somehow Keon Howard came on my phone. Keon Johnson. Who did he get drafted by? The Clippers. So, yeah, the Clippers have a guy in Keon Johnson who's going to probably develop similar to Hamou Diallo, who's going to Diallo was a very inefficient scorer for the first few years, and he started to find his shot this year. He realized he's an incredible slasher, that he has an athletic gift that'll get him to the basket. Great. He hunts for rebounds. He's willing to pass the ball, and he gets steals. And I really like him. He's a good defender. He just needs to keep getting that three shot up, and he's going to be a really good player for whoever gets him. Now, the older guys, Paul Millsap, he's a 4. I don't think he can play the center position. I wouldn't play him at the center position. He's a 4. I would love him to go to the Nets, but the Nets probably don't really need him now, but maybe they do. And he's a guy who could also go to the Bucks to play for Mike Budenholzer again, or go to the Utah Jazz where he started his career. I think we couldn't even rule out a Denver Nuggets return. He might return back there on a vet minimum. He's a guy who shot 34% this year from three. He'll give you same numbers, probably like between 7 and 9 points, 5 rebounds at most a game, maybe a block or a steal game. Nothing much. Dishes the ball out well. Good player. Then you got Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley, we didn't see him this past year. So he's a guy who's a really good defensive shooting guard. He's small, he's 6'2", so you could run him at the point guard more ideally, but he's a small ball shooting guard who will get you a steal a game. Can hit the 3-point shot, not consistently, but can hit it. And that's basically it, what you're getting. He's not the best passer, nothing else great about him. Lou Williams, one of the best six-man, if not the greatest six-man, arguably, with Jamal Crawford. Guy going to give you a bunch. You can literally put him in for 10 to 15 minutes a game. He'll still give you 10 points a game. Might not be efficient, but yeah, and he can pass the ball, get the occasional steal, not bad. Andrew Iguodala, he's going to be a guy who comes in, be a veteran leader for you, talk a lot, do some stuff, and mainly just play small forward, and whenever you need defense in important games, you really don't play him in the regular season, Andre Iguodala. You save him for the playoffs and just tell him to lead the locker room as an assistant coach in the regular season, get a few minutes in every few games, and you really just play Andre Iguodala in the playoffs and shuts down the team's opposing best scorers. Then DeMarcus Cousins, he didn't look bad in the playoffs. He looks like a guy who can come in, play 15, 20 minutes a night for a team, might get you a block, will give you maybe 10 points and like 5 rebounds. Not bad. So, now if I have to go, I want the Spurs to get Josh Hart. Danny Green I could see go to like the Nets. Lauri Markkanen, I don't even know where he's going to go. I thought he was going to go to the Spurs. Spurs might still be in play, but and same thing with Kelly Oubre. I thought the Spurs were going to get Markkanen and Oubre, and they probably could have, but maybe they were too much and they didn't want to invest in that. So, don't know. I still like the moves what the Spurs did. Schroeder I see going in the Knicks or Nets. Kawhi back to the Clippers. Kelly Oubre, I don't even know. Kelly Oubre is a guy could also go to. Kelly Oubre and Lauri Markkanen are two guys that the Timberwolves might be trying to get. Reggie Jackson could go back to the Clippers or a contending team. Hamad Diallo, I think he's going to go back to the Pistons. Millsap, I already told you. Jazz, Bucks, Nets, or Nuggets. Maybe in the Clippers. Avery Bradley, I could see like the Clippers. Lou Williams, maybe back to the Hawks, but a team like the Clippers or another one. Andre Iguodala, I don't really know. I really don't know. The Nets, the Knicks, maybe. Cousins, again, a contending team. That's it for me, guys. I want to hear your opinions down below. And that's it. But peace. Oh. We're going to